Hey everybody, and welcome back to another HuntressCTF YouTube video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at maximum sound on the HuntressCTF 2025. So the HuntressCTF has ended and the instance no longer works, but I did manage to download the WAV file from the CTF. So looking at it, we can start by doing just a quick file on it to see what exactly it is, and here we do see that it does say the WAV audio. So we can try something like xdg open, and then we can go on to say maximum sound.wave, and this is going to spin up the sonic visualizer for us. Now right now we really don't see a whole lot. It's just a bunch of blue, and there's really not too much going on. A neat trick when it comes to sonic is you can head on over, I believe it is to layers, and then you can also add a spectrogram. And what this is going to do is this is going to show us just some of the sound waves, as we could see here. Now we could try to zoom in a little bit on it to see if there's anything happening, if it'll even let me zoom in, and it doesn't look like it's wanting to work. There we go. And we could see that it's just a bunch of random wave files that appear to be going up and down, fluctuating. So originally with this specific challenge, I thought that it was going to have to do with Morse code. That is not the way to go about doing this challenge, because everything looks almost identical, right? So we could see here that the frequency kind of stays the same, and then as we get a little bit deeper, we could see that it changes just a little bit, and then again over here. So we don't really know what exactly this is, but I did find a pretty interesting blog post by this person here, Summit Aurora. I think I'm saying your name right. And he goes over different audio steganographies. This is part 2. He also has a part 1, which you can see here, and you can read up all about the audio steganographies. But as you start to read through, you'll start to see different things that you can do within the steganography regarding wave files or any form of audio file. So here we have LSB, or least significant bit algorithm, and we could see exactly what it's doing. But this is not going to be the way that we will be doing this specific challenge. If we continue to scroll down, however, we could see that something pretty interesting is shown, and it says here a note on SSTV. It says, as you can image, we can embed any text, document, audio, video within the carried audio by simply encoding bits of the secret data within each byte of carrier audio. So essentially what that means is you can store specific information into a WAV file, transfer it over to someone else, and then they can go about decoding it through just an audio file. And you can do this with mainly pictures. And this is actually how they did it with the moonwalk for Apollo 11, which is kind of cool. So SSTV stands for slow scan television, which is a very popular method in radio transmission to send image data over a long distance. This is a perfect example, right? So Apollo 11, very far, right? We're going to the moon, and they need to send back images of what exactly is going on. So they use SSTV to go about doing so. And if we scroll down just a little bit, we see that there is a Python module having to do with SSTV. We also have an image decoder. There was also an image here that looked almost identical to what the maximum sound look like, but I don't see it now on this blog post, which is a little bit strange. But that is the way that we're going to go about solving this challenge. So we need to find a way to go about decoding this SSTV image decoder. And this is obviously Google Play Store, so we're not going to be able to use that. But we can come over here, we could try to type in something like SSTV decoder, and we'll just see if something shows up here. So we'll try the first one. The first one may work or may not work, depending. So we'll just head on over to our home, and then we'll go to HuntressCTF, go to day 3, maximum sound.wave, and then we'll just wait for this to load, and we'll click on decode. And what this is going to do is this is going to extract and try to identify the image that is stored within this WAV file. So if we give it a little bit, we can see here that we do have a semi-blurry image. And again, we don't know what this is. It looks to be some form of QR code or barcode, but we'll get to that in just a second. Within this specific website, however, there's also a quality structure. So you can do balanced, or you can do ultra fast, or whatever the deal is. So we could try to do, let's say, high quality and slow, just so we can have a better image to work with. And once that is done loading, we'll be able to see the full picture of what is going on. So that looks a little bit better now. We see that the gradient isn't so discombobulated. We see everything really flows nicely together. This is definitely a high quality image compared to the previous one that we saw before. So we can simply download this image and see exactly what it is. We'll head on over here, and we don't need the Sonic anymore. So we'll just simply move this download over to our current folder. So we'll do download, and then I think it was called decoded image. And then again, we'll just do XVG open and then decode image, just to make sure that it downloaded successfully, and it looks like it did. So we don't really know what this QR code is. We're not sure what it is. So we're going to have to do some Google reverse image searches. So using Google Chrome, it looks like that seems to be working. But when we do the reverse image search, we could see what this is. If we scroll down a little bit, we could see that it is a Maxicode 2D barcode specification. So we need to figure out a way to go about decoding this, because if you try to use your phone with a standard QR code, it's not going to work. Because this is just a very unique sort of barcode that we need to work with. So what we could try to do is we'll just look up something like Maxicode 2D barcode, and then we'll try to do decoder, and we'll see if anything shows up here that we could potentially work with. Let's just try this one. I don't think this worked during the CTF, but it is definitely worth the try. So we'll see if it can read anything, and it says no barcode found. So that is obviously not the way that we want to go about doing it. We'll try something a little bit different, and we'll head on out of here. So let's try a different one. Let's try to go to this one maybe, and let's try to upload again that PNG file. And we can see here that it says Maxicode with the flag. So a pretty unique challenge, and something that I don't think I've ever seen before. Steganography is a fantastic challenge just as a whole, because WAV files are very difficult. This took us a very long time. Probably took me close to 3 days to figure this out. And I tried all different kinds of methods until I found that specific blog post and read more about SSTV encoding. But all in all, great challenge. We could learn a little bit more about Maxicode, which was developed by UPS, United Parcel Service, in 1992. And it is a dimensional code that is majorly used on shipping labels for addressing and sorting US domestic and international packages, which is kind of unique and cool, which, again, we don't really see too often within CTF. So it was nice to see that something new was showing up. But if you did enjoy this video, please let me know in the comment section down below, and please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.